Hi everyone, this is Ashley with CT Rated Digitals. I'm going to do a tutorial to show you how to use my new shape overlays for backlit images in Photoshop. These don't have to be used for backlit images, but that is how and why I created them. I have a few different ones open that I'm going to use, but there's different shapes in the collection. I have my backlit image open that I want to use, and I'm just going to show you a couple of different ways to use them. So I'm just going to start with a circle. I'm going to select all, edit, and copy, and edit and paste it into my image. And these are PSD files, so they are completely, they're already transparent. So you can overlay it and you can leave it as is. If you are wanting to make it smaller, and you run into this gap on the outside, super easy. So these are flat black, so you can just grab your marquee tool and you can highlight the area and then fill and just use black and just do that around your whole image. You could use content aware. It'll probably work just fine and the same. But just to get it so there's not any lines or anything anywhere, I'm going to do it that way. I don't know why it didn't fill on that side. Sometimes it looks like that, but when you zoom in, it's fine. Yep, okay, it's fine. It just, I don't know why there's that line there for now, but once it was saved, it would be better. And then obviously, if you want to make it bigger than it was, you could do that as well. I just didn't want it to go off of the edge of the page for you, so you could do it as big as that. You can drag it down or up however you're wanting to use it. I actually like to use it as like a gray and overlay on my image, like with their legs showing on the outside of it. So I'm going to show you a different way to use it now. I'm going to hide this for now. I'm going to come to my background image and I'm going to go to my quick selection tool and select subject up at the top. I'm going to zoom in real quick and make sure that everything I want selected is selected down here. Okay. And then I'm going to duplicate my layer and create a layer mask. And you don't have to do this. This is just something I like to do, so I want to share. And I'm going to make that visible again. And then I'm going to clip it. Oop, you got to come on your mask here. It's funny, it looks like she's wearing high socks. And press Control or Command I on your keyboard to invert that layer. And now you could leave it like this, but you would have to zoom in and clean up the very edges. You would just come down here to your layer mask and use your, I'm on my shape brushes. Use a black brush at 100% opacity. Sorry, white brush at 100% opacity, and just, you would have to brush in any of the areas that the white was still showing. I'm just going to do a quick job of it. I'm not making this perfect by any means. I say that and then I continue to take a bunch of time doing it. You would need to get rid of this right here. I like to over paint and paint off. It makes it easier to get those sharp edges. And see, you might need to clean up the edges on here too. Leaving it completely black can get a little tricky, but I would actually probably use a hard brush along those edges to fill in what it didn't get. But that can become a little time consuming. The bigger brush you use, you might be able to paint that in a little bit easier there. But if we zoom out, now you could do that, but I like to just so I would clean it up a little bit, and then if you just lower the opacity on the backdrop, it makes it like a pretty gray color, and that makes for a pretty neat picture too. I actually did this edit in her gallery and delivered it to her just like this. And that's it. You can just play around with it. You don't have to have their legs showing if you want. A lot of people just overlay the whole image, but there are different. I'm going to delete the circle for now. There are different ones. Select all, edit, copy, edit and paste. There's a diamond. And if you want, I keep my proportions, but if you want, you can uncheck this box up here and drag it, so that way it kind of changes the shape of the diamond. That's something you can do too. Again, I wouldn't want it to go all the way down. This is kind of like a boxy diamond. That's pretty. And then I would just fill in that area. It's showing those white lines again, but it won't be there once the image is flattened. And then clip it again, and then you could do the same thing, or you could lower the opacity. I wonder, which I haven't tried yet, if you, okay, here's another thing you could probably do. So if you unclip it from your backdrop, which you can hold down your Alt key, you can hold down your Alt key and click between the layers to clip and unclip your layer, or you could go up to create clipping mask or release clipping mask. And then I'm going to go ahead and right click inside the layer box, and I'm going to go to select pixels. I'm going to go up to edit and fill, and then I'm going to go to color, and I'm going to choose a different color here. Choose like a blue. Press OK. And actually, that was a bad example because it's kind of gonna be similar to the gray. Color, we'll do like a red. And you can change the color of it too. Now, if you don't, let's clip it. There we go. And it might be a little bit harder too, since it's not black and white. You would have to play around again with making sure that you're brushing, using your brush and brushing it on and off. It would look better with a colored image rather than black and white, but you can, if she was in color, you could change the color of the overlay too, if you wanted to get a little bit more artistic in that. But that is, whoa, that's really bright. That is it. If you have any questions, you can message me on Etsy. If you are a studio photographer, I would love for you to join my group on Facebook. It is linked in the listing description.